Good day everyone and welcome to our geography class. Before I proceed, I would like everyone to dispose ourselves in prayer and offer this prayer for the peace of the world, especially for Russia and Ukraine. Okay, thank you, and you may take your seats. Before we will proceed, I would like to share with you our classroom rules. First, respect and listen to your teacher. Second, respect and listen to the ideas of your classmates. Third, raise your hand when you wish to speak. Next, be quiet when classmate or someone is talking. Next, ask questions to clarify some points. And lastly, share new ideas and collaborate with your team or partner. I would like to emphasize the last rule here, that you have to share your ideas and collaborate with your team, because most of our activity engagement this afternoon is going to be working with your classmate or your partner in the activity that I want you to do. Okay? So, is sort of review. Let's try to do this activity. These are very important to find out if we're ready for our discussion this afternoon. Okay? I have a globe here, as you can see here. Our activity is for you to identify or name the parts of the earth using the map or globe. By the way, I would like to give you a copy of the world map and the activity sheets that all your answers will be reflected on it. Okay? Alright. So let's do this with your partner. Okay? The activity should be done with a partner, meaning that I'll divide you into group with your partner so that you can share your ideas when you do the activity. Okay. With your activity sheets, you have here markings to do or identify what would be the parts of the earth or in the globe that is being highlighted with red, and you are to tick the answers of your choice that corresponds to what is being referred to in the globe. Okay, I'll give you about 2 seconds or 3 seconds to do the activity. You may now start doing it. Okay. Now we will check if you have answered or identified the parts that being colored in red or shaded in red. What is that part of our globe? Okay? And our answer is longitude. Okay, very good. How many of you were able to get the correct answer? That's great. Next. Okay, identify the colored part of the globe in 3 seconds. Time is up. Okay, let's check what is the correct answer. And the answer here is the Eastern Hemisphere. Everyone, may know who got the correct answer? Very good. Everybody got it right. Next, for 3 seconds, what is that part that is being shaded with red? Go ahead. Time is up. Check with our answer. And the answer is the Western Hemisphere. Again, may know who got the correct answer? Wow, very good again. Everybody got it right. Next, how about this? For 3 seconds. Time is up. Let's check the answer. And the answer is, that line is what we call the prime region. Okay, again, Wow, everybody got the correct answer. Next, how about this? For 3 seconds, your time is up. Let us check if you were able to get it right. And the answer is latitude. Okay. Very good. Let's move on. Again, how many got correct answer? Wow, there is only one who did not able to make it. Anyway, that's still okay. How about this? Or 3 seconds. Our time is up. Let's check. The correct answer is the southern hemisphere. And wow, congratulations, everybody got it correctly. Okay, very good. Okay, let's set aside our paper and put it aside so that we can continue with our lessons. Okay, let's have another activity. Okay, using your map or the globe that you are with you, kindly locate the following countries in the map. I will give you about 5 seconds. Ready? Your time starts now. Time is up. Okay. Raise your ballpen, please. Very good. All right. Now, may I know how many got it correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very good. Everybody, all of you were able to get it correctly. We're able to locate the places, the countries in your globe or in your map. All right. Okay, were you able to locate the countries on the globe or map? Yes, as I said. So if everyone got it correctly. Next, how did you find the activity? Anyone? Good. Very interesting. And you're happy. You feel happy to be able to locate it right away in the map or in the globe. Okay. To give more accurate way of locating the places on the earth using your globe or map, let us explore the accurate way of finding using the latitude and longitude, which is our lesson for this afternoon. Okay, so what is latitude and longitude? Right. But by the way, before we proceed, I would like to share with you what learnings we would like to gain at the end of the lessons. First, we will review the principles about typical graph. And second objective is relate the typical graph to the location of places on Earth using the latitude and longitude coordinate. And third, we will find the location of some man-made wonders on the Earth as part of your assignment. So these are our objectives that we want everyone to learn this afternoon. Okay, let's have another activity. In a sheet of paper, I wanted to practice or to draw the lines that is described here on the figure that is shown here in the monitor. Okay, I'll give you about 3 seconds to do the activity. And what you will do is only to exactly follow what you have seen here in the monitor. Okay? Your time starts now. Okay, time is up. We will see how many of you were able to really to get the activity correctly. Okay, very good. That's very simple and easy, and everyone got it correctly. Congratulations, everyone. All right. What did you observe to the figure that you have drawn? And how these lines are connected to each other? Maybe can we compare this figure to a globe? Or why? All right. So first, what did you observe to the figure that you have drawn? On the paper I asked you to do. How these lines are connected to each other. And can we compare this figure to the line that you have seen in the globe? Okay. Alright. So, yes? Your answer? Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. Before we will be able really to identify and to follow the lines that you've drawn there on the paper, let's discuss important points. First, in a typical graph, this is, as you can see here, it's an example of what a typical graph is all about. It is made up of points that are connected by a line. You can see here, these are points, and these are the lines that connect each other. Okay. And in here, each point has two values. The first point, an x value that runs along the horizontal x-axis and a y value that runs along the vertical y-axis. You can see, where is it? This is the x-axis, while this is the y-axis. Okay. Each point is expressed as an x value and a y value with the x value written first. Alright, in other words, if this is the point, there is a value of x here and there is a value of y here. Okay. And for example, in this point, what is the value of x here is 4, and what's the value of y here is 7. In other words, this point has a value of 4x and a value of y 7. Alright, how about this point here? This point has a value of 7x and a value of y 5. That's why this point has a coordinate of 7x and 5y. Alright, please continue. The graphs may be divided into quadrants with the x and y values being either positive or negative depending on the quadrant in which they are located. Okay, for example, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, we have the positive x and the negative y. While this quadrant second has a negative x and a negative y. While this third quadrant has negative x plus the positive y. While the fourth quadrant has all positive x and positive y. Okay? Now let's apply the same principles to latitude and longitude to the Earth represented by a map or a globe. This is what we call the globe. The globe is the round model of the Earth that shows landforms, shapes, and directions. While the map is a representation of the Earth's features drawn in a flat surface. And you can see that on your own copy of the map. Okay. On the map, horizontal lines are lines of latitude. The vertical lines are lines of longitude. And the x-axis is the equator. And the y-axis, which runs from the Great England, is the prime meridian. In other words, the x-axis is the equator, while this one here is the Tropic of Cancer, and the other part down here is the Tropic of Capricorn. Do we have questions? If there's none, let's continue. Okay? So, any location north of the equator is in north latitude. What does here? From the equator up with the latitude, we call it north latitude. Do we follow? Thank you. Let's continue. Any location south of the equator is south latitude. Meaning, if this is the equator, down below here is what we call south latitude. Is it clear? Or do we have any questions or query, clarification? There is none. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Here in location west of the primary region is west longitude. It is identified in the arrow that from here down here is west longitude. West longitude, the vertical line. Okay. Next. Any location east of the primary region is an east longitude. Okay. To the east is the east longitude. Question, clarification, anything would like to ask of the discussion we have? Okay, if there's none, let's continue. We can divide the Earth into quadrants. This is northeast, where all latitudes are north and all longitudes are east. That's exactly the same with the typical map that I showed with you. This is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third, and the fourth quadrants. Okay, and as mentioned here, we can divide the Earth into quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And we can divide the Earth into quadrants also. We have southeast, where all latitudes are south and all longitudes are east. Okay, look at this. All latitude is and all longitude is. In other words, all the lines belongs to this quadrant are east, while this one here is longitude. Okay. Next, we can divide the Earth into quadrants, as I said. Another one is from southwest, where all latitudes are south and all longitudes are west. Okay. So, south here, while going to southwest, and all longitude are west. Okay? We can divide the north into quadrants, as I said a while ago, where all includes north and all longitudes are west. Okay. Notice that every point in the United States will have a north latitude and a west longitude, since we are in the northwest quadrant. Okay. Northwest quadrant, this one here. Okay. Now, we're talking about latitude, but we have not defined it. Anybody would like to say what is latitude? Yes? Okay, very good. Latitude, by definition, is the distance from the equator along the y-axis. The distance from the equator along the y-axis. Where's the y-axis in here? This one here. So it's the distance between from the equator along the y-axis. It is expressed in degrees. The North Pole is 90 degrees north, while the South Pole is 90 degrees south. And remember that the equator is 0 degree latitude. Okay. What is the maximum possible latitude on Earth? 90 degrees is maximum. You could be at 90 degrees north or 90 degrees south, but there is no greater latitude on Earth or anywhere else. Okay. Then, if that was the definition of latitude, what is then a longitude? Alright, a longitude is the distance from the primary region from the x-axis. Alright, this is the x-axis. And each line, imaginary line here, are the longitude. from the meridian either to the west or going to the east. Okay. Just like latitude, the longitude is measured also in degrees. And the primary meridian is 0 degree. This one. Alright. From 0 to 90 and 0 to 90, a total of 180 degrees. Understand that there are not 280 lines on this flat map. It just looks that way. It's the same line. Okay? I hope that is understood. And what is the maximum possible longitude on Earth? 180 degrees is the maximum possible longitude on Earth. Okay. Let's do this. Its box on the map below is 15 degrees. With that in mind, how can we identify specific locations in the red dots here below? And you may remember, right, latitude first. Okay. These are your activities this afternoon. Kindly do in the following or in your map, what are the coordinates of location A, B, C, and what about location D, as you can see here. Okay. In other words, what you will do is, what is the coordinate of point A, point D, and point C? Later, but take note that letter D has no coordinate in here. But remember, the longitude and the latitude are all imaginary lines. Okay, if I will ask you, what's the coordinate or the location of point A? Alright? And point B, and so on and so forth. So point A has a location or has a latitude of 60 degrees north and 30 degrees west. Why? This is north because this is upper the equator, and this is going to the west longitude. Therefore, point A has 60 degrees north and 30 degrees west. Do you get it correctly in your own paper? Answer. Okay, let's move on. How about the coordinates of location B? Alright, so if you have to look at on the map again, this is 15 degrees south and 105 degrees west. In other words, 15 degrees south of latitude and 105 degrees longitude west. Right, look at this. This is the equator and below that is south. So all the latitude horizontal line here from here is the south. And this is the second quadrant, correct? Next, this is found here, and this is about 105 degrees longitude west. Did you get it right? Very good. How about point C? What is the coordinate of point C? The point C here is 75 degrees south and 75 degrees east. Why? Because, look at this. This is the equator, the first quadrant, and this is going south. The latitude is going south, while the longitude here from the equator going east. Therefore, 75 degrees south latitude and 75 degrees east. How about letter D? It's in the middle of the box. What do we do now? So we have to calculate here. This is between 105 and 90. So this is 90 and we have to divide it. We have to estimate that line in here. And this is between 30 and 45. This is 15. This is 7. This is 37 point something. Well, this one is 100. This is about 100 degrees, 100 degrees south, and about 17 37.5 degrees west. Did you get the correct answer? I will check your answer if it's correct. And I hope you have done it. You have collaborate with your neighbor or with your partner, so that you will be able to share your idea how will you be able to get the correct answer. Okay, let's continue. So exactly, if this is point B, as I mentioned a while ago, okay, I'm sorry, it's wrong because I estimated about 100, but the very correct answer is only 97 degrees, 37 degrees north, and 97 degrees west. Okay, stand corrected if you were not able to correct it, because as I said, these are just imaginary line, and we have only to estimate and calculate the exact number of the latitude and the exact number of the longitude. Okay, question. Do we have question, clarification, dear students? If there is none, all right. We have to remember, we are now in the part of how we generalize things, of the things that we have discussed this afternoon. And remember, that latitude is written first and must always include north or south of the equator, as we have seen it in the example. While the longitude is written next and must always include east or west of the prime meridian. And as with anything else you learn, you will get better with more practice and get the materials that we need and focus our attention so that everything that we want to learn can be easily facilitated. Okay? Alright. For your assignment, try to find the absolute location of the following man-made wonders: the Taj Mahal in India, the Great Pyramid in Giza, Egypt, the Colosseum, Rome, Italy, and Easter Island statues, Peru. You will have to locate that with your map so that you can place what's the correct coordination of India, Taj Mahal, and the rest of the made wonders here. And the next discussion that we have, we will discuss the beauty and how come they are amazingly done with the early people, and until now is being considered to be the heritage, to be the treasure of the world. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and for your participation. You are such a great learners. Thank you. God bless everyone.